Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and not going to get into the politics of this brewery. In fact, aside from this, not going to really acknowledge the elephant in the room when it comes to this brewery, because quite frankly, I don't care. If you make good beer, you make good beer. So yeah, we're going over to Beavertown and we're looking at their collaboration with Mikkeller San Diego, and this is Murking 9 to 5, which is a wheat IPA, clocking in at 7.9% ABV, and yeah, beautiful collaborative effort there on the artwork. That classic Keith Shaw with, is it Nick Dwyer? I always forget Beavertown's designer, which is a travesty because I absolutely adore his work, so I do apologise. Correct artists are credited in the description, but yeah, cool artwork indeed, and on one of their starlit cans, and it's a peel-off label, so I'm a happy chappy. Picked this up from Northern Beer Temple in Wigan. Picked this up for £4.45, so it's good to get a bit of Beavertown action, as well as Mikkeller San Diego, probably one of my favourite breweries recently. So yeah, a wheat IPA. I wonder how this is going to turn out. In our little Facebook group, Rob just actually posted a photo of it. Can't remember what he said about it, but I know Simon from Real Ale Craft Beers reviewed this as well fairly recently to me recording this video. God knows when I'll get around to uploading it. But yeah, canned on the 6th of June. And best before date is the 6th of 10th 2019, I'd imagine. So really quite fresh, a few weeks fresh, well, less than a few weeks actually. So that's always a plus. And yeah, so it's pre-takeover, so I'm sure it's not going to be like stomach bile in a can, because we all know that as soon as a brewery makes a business decision that actually benefits the brewery themselves, their beers will instantly go to shit, and people just pour out the beers that they've been saving for years as protest. Said I wasn't going to get any more political, but fuck it. I think the outcry has been really quite childish from some of the beer community, and I hate this knee-jerk reaction that, oh, instantly sold is sold to the devil. It's like, you've not given the opportunity a chance. Do you know what I mean? At least wait until like a year or so into the business development. I think that's what you call it, the cash injection and minority stakeholding. Just give it time. If it's terrible, then by all means say it's terrible. Anyway, I don't want to get into that because it just, that side of craft beer just annoys me, quite frankly. But yeah, using a Beavertown glass as well. So let's get this open and see what we get. So I have had a few wheat beer IPAs, especially in Germany, so it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. But yeah, it's got Beavertown and Mikkeller San Diego, so I'm sure it's going to be a drinkable beer. But yeah, lovely sort of pale haziness there. It's not a juice bomb by any stretch. You can just about see like the shadow of your hand, albeit a little bit deformed. But yeah, it's got that sort of like lemon drop sort of look to it. Gets a little bit clearer towards the bottom, but it's got that like wheat beer aesthetic going on, albeit with the hue of an IPA. And then the beer poured with about one small finger's worth of white head, so it certainly looks appetising indeed on this slightly warm summer afternoon, or evening I should say. It's about 8:30. So let's see what we get on the nose. And it's all about the hops. I'm getting big hits of Cascade in this one. Not sure if it's been brewed with Cascade, but that's what I'm picking up. Big fruity aromas, predominantly citrusy, so there could be a little bit of citra in there as well. Maybe a hint of Amarillo as well to give it a tropical edge. But then you get this sort of like subtle, sweet bready tone. Also reminds you of the bread that you get in America, which is not as sweet as brioche, but it is slightly sweeter than like a white supermarket loaf here in the UK. In fact, yeah, you might actually get a little bit of a brioche almost, like a glazed yeasted dough. Yeah, a little bit of a gentle wet wheat aroma. No hints of bubblegum or anything like that, or banana. It's all about those hops, really. So yeah, it smells really nice. It's a little bit subdued, a little bit laid back. So let's see what we get on the actual flavour. Cheers. Don't know what happened there. That's really nice. It's nice and simple. It's not the hoppiest of beers, but then again, it's not the heaviest of wheat bodies either. So it's this lovely little come-between. There is a little bit of a spicy edge, a subtle yeasty tone in there as well. Alcohol is masked really nicely, actually. You get a little bit of like a cloviness on the back end, mixing nicely with that gentle hop bitterness. But the forward upfront hop flavours are a little bit of like a sweetened blood orange almost. A subtle hint of like a slightly spiced mango chutney. Actually, the more I drink it, the more the breadiness is coming through. But not like an intrusive like German Weiss beer or Belgian wheat ale sort of character. But yeah, the clove builds actually on the back end, but not too much. There's a really nice balance actually of hoppiness and wheatiness. Body is a little bit lighter than I was expecting. That's probably the only real criticism I can give this beer, to be honest. But, you know, maybe I was expecting a little bit more of a bolder outing from Mikkeller San Diego specifically. Probably one of the more hyped breweries for me personally. Every beer I've had from them has just been awesome. This isn't bad, but it's not terribly exciting either. Conceptually it works. And it's definitely one of the better wheat-based IPAs that I've had. But yeah, it reminds me of Camber Bavaria's Love Beer, which is a really nice, like, wheaty pale ale. But this is just a little bit more savoury on the back end. That clove comes through, that spicy, almost rye bread character comes through as well, like a dark rye bread. Like a seeded dark rye bread, I should say. But at the same time, the hoppiness is really nice and refreshing. And again, there's just like this little clump of hair here always looks different to everything else. Yeah, it's not bad. Would I go out my way to get it again? Probably not. I'm glad that I gave it a try. It's another Mikkeller San Diego beer off my list. It's another solid outing from Beavertown. So I've got not got much to complain about. It just doesn't really excite me too much, and there could have been a little bit more to it. But I think that's beer in its own right, and in terms of its enjoyability, I'm happy enough to give that like a flat 7. Even though I usually have the 7 as I would definitely buy a can again. I wouldn't turn another can of this down if it was offered to me. In fact, I wouldn't really turn any beer down if someone was kind enough to offer me a beer. I'm not one of those people. But yeah, the aftertaste, it's not really to my liking too much. But if you like your wheat beers, then you're going to enjoy this one, I think. It's not like a classic wheat beer. It's just a little bit more wheatier than some IPAs. A little bit wheatier. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So yeah, it's just about getting a 7 out of 10 for me personally. And yeah, if you've tried this beer, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Are you a fan of either brewery? If you want to go on a big rant about what you think about Beavertown and Heineken, then feel free to do so. I'll probably just reply with you with like one sentence, unless you've got something interesting to bring to the table, of course. And yeah, so check out both Beavertown and Mikkeller San Diego. I've got playlists for both those breweries down below, so I do welcome you to check them out. I'll post links to other reviews of this beer in the description also. And of course the artists as well will be credited. So if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. And if you've got any suggestions for beers like this, then feel free to add them, so I can hopefully give them a go in the future. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.